Oh man.
Okay, friends, I'm gonna get started because it's a couple minutes past 12. Thank you for tuning in live wherever you are. Thank you for taking a lunch break or, tuning in on your vacation or whatever. Today is a very, very important week. I'm sure a lot of you are having feelings. Let's just put it out there, having feelings. So this is always one of my kind of favorite weeks to chat about. It's the theme of always better. And I know that when I did the initial in-body scans with some of you, this is something that you struggle with in terms of fitness, in terms of nutrition, in terms of just, drinking water or sleeping or whatever. So before we kind of dive into it, easy enough, friends, throw it in the chat box. Yes or no, if you have ever struggled with the all or nothing mindset when it comes to anything, workouts, nutrition, challenges, meal plans. Emily Slaniff, yes, all in capitals. Lori, yes. Lori, do not feel personally victimized. This is a group call. Okay, we're all in this together. Okay, so kind of tagging on to that, obviously there is some of you that have done this before and have done this challenge before. So I'm kind of going to call on you for some initial tips and tricks. And for those of you that have dealt with the all or nothing mindset, what has helped you? Okay. I know when we think about the kind of all or nothing mindset, it's literally either 100% or nothing. So, I mean, things that have helped me personally in terms of that is like focusing on one thing at a time, focusing on one day at a time, focusing on, just being a little easier on yourself. So for those of you that have, let's just chat about what helps. I'm just going to leave that chat box open there, friends. And while you all kind of percolate or ponder, I'm just going to chat about what the all or nothing mindset kind of looks like so that we can, maybe get a better understanding and maybe you can pinpoint some feelings around it. So when we think about all or nothing, we kind of think about like success versus failure and what identifies the success versus the failure. It's very much a black and white mindset. There's no like kind of gray area in the middle. Some examples that I've put up here in terms of the challenge is like, I have to finish every single badge for the challenge, or this complete challenge is, or this whole challenge is going to be a failure. Thinking about your workouts, on a day-to-day basis, it's like your performance was either totally fantastic or it was a total failure. So not, looking at the performance as a whole and like, the 5% that maybe you rocked or the 10% that you rocked, it's kind of just like, no, I didn't give my best the entire time. So in my mind, that workout was not a success. Feelings of overwhelm, which I'm sure all of us can relate to in terms of, this challenge or not this challenge, just feeling overwhelmed with life and with work and or school and or getting your workouts in and tracking your food and making sure you're hitting protein and kind of all of that. So just the total feeling of being overwhelmed. Using words like should or just. Like, I should just work out more. I should just eat more protein. I should be able to get my macros. I should be able to do this. Procrastinating or kind of waiting for that perfect moment. An example might be, I've missed 3 days of workouts this week, so I'm just not going to work out for the rest of the week and I'll start again on Monday. Or, I had one bad meal today, so I'm just going to throw in the towel today and we'll start again tomorrow. Just kind of, that sort of procrastinating mindset, which hands up, I can totally relate to that statement. Yeah, just like looking for the quick fix, the perfect fit, rather than just like getting started or just starting with day one, starting with minute one, that sort of thing. Okay. So before we actually, yeah, let's talk about shifting your mindset, and then I'm going to hop in the chat box and see what you've all written. So thinking back to what I just said, and that kind of always better mindset, or sorry, the perfect mindset, looking to the always better mindset, we want to think about, being realistic with ourselves and with our capacity and with what's required to get us where we want to be. This can be anything from time. Obviously, time is a very big one. I don't know about all of you, but sometimes I just feel like there's not enough hours in the day to do the things that we want to do and the things that we want to get done. Sacrificing sleep. Okay. This is a very, very big one that a lot of you admitted to in our scans, is needing to get better with sleep and needing to prioritize sleep. So obviously, when you think about it, that could be something that you're sacrificing money, sacrificing, Netflix time to get your workout in, or to maybe do a little bit of meal prep or something like that. So just being realistic with what you're doing and what you're willing to do to get where you want to be, to get to that kind of end game. On the same kind of bandwidth is finding out what's really a priority for you, because we all know things change on a day-to-day basis. Things change on a week-to-week basis. I mean, Megan, I'll just pick on you for this 1 second, but poor Megan has been sick on and off for like the past month, 2 months, right? So it's like finding out, needing to shift your priorities a little bit to land where you are and what's in your mental capacity to handle, right? Asking yourself what you realistically have the capacity for, whether that's just, focusing on hydrating your body and not concerning yourself with your workouts, focusing on getting more sleep, and not potentially worrying about tracking your food, those sort of things. So acknowledging what's in your control versus what's out of your control. Okay. Sickness, obviously not in your control. Injuries, not in your control. Unreliable childcare. Okay. Crazy work schedules, thinking that you're going to get off work early and then you end up working 2 hours later. So just paying attention to the things that are just completely out of your control, and then learning to celebrate the wins, I think, is something that is really, really overlooked. Okay. Especially in this all or nothing mindset. It is so easy to be so hard on ourselves all the time. Okay. In this mindset, even out of this mindset. And learning to celebrate yourself, or celebrating a win, or taking 2 seconds out of your day to be like, you know what, you're rocking it. Or regardless of what's happened today, you did this, it's all of those little things. This is what this challenge is about. We focus on one thing at a time. We focus on one thing every week. And then all of those little things that you do are going to add up slowly but surely. And they're just going to make all those amazing habits and all those amazing, growths and things that you do. Okay. So this is really important. And I think maybe we can all do a little bit better in learning to celebrate ourselves and being a little kinder on ourselves in terms of where we are on a day-to-day basis. Okay. I'm going to hop in the chat box before I kind of chat about the next thing. Ooh, it's bumping. Okay. Oh, Megan Hurd, I love this. There are 7 days in a week. Just because one day doesn't go right doesn't mean the whole week is off kilter. Okay. This is a fantastic way to think, and definitely more in terms of the always better mindset versus the perfect mindset. Jesse, I like to remind myself that saying 80% at one point and tell myself I can be 80%. Exactly. This is perfect, right? You don't have to be 100. It's not about being 100. It's about being 20% today, or being 50% today, or being 80% today. Emily Slana, celebrating my wins, even doing my laundry. And yes, like Megan, going to bed and trying again tomorrow with a fresh start. Okay. Loving the mantra that any movement is good movement. I love this. I find myself saying this in class all the time. Like all you got to do is just move your bodies. This is so great. I love all of this. Emily, or sitting on your stationary bike, lightly pedaling while watching Gilmore Girls. Obviously love this. My current mantra, if you only have 40% to give today, you give 40%, you gave 100%. Exactly. Right? It's all about what's in your capacity. I love this. Great conversations, friends. Okay, so kind of segueing into this kind of positive self-talk. These are 3 fantastic questions that I think you'll all find very helpful when you're kind of having that off day, or you're having that off week, or that off weekend, or whatever. So 3 questions to ask yourself after you've, fallen off the wagon, whatever that looks like to you. But obviously we're making note of the fact that there is no wagon, and that this is life, and that this is our day-to-day stuff, right? Things aren't always going to be perfect. We're not always going to have those perfect weeks. But this is when you got to get curious a little bit. So 3 questions to ask yourself. Did this event, weekend, trip, or meal fill any other buckets for you? Okay. So many times we, again, are so hard on ourselves for like taking a vacation and not being perfect, or, going out for dinner, or having a few extra glasses of wine. But what you can think about to turn it around is like, what did this do for me? What did this night out do for me? Did I get to see a friend that I haven't talked to in a while? Did I get to, hang out with my husband or my boyfriend or my partner and, have some laughs, right? It's like, what other buckets did that event fill? Question number 2, is there anything you can celebrate? Right? Like, did you make a conscious effort to drink water in between having those glasses of wine? If you went out for dinner, did you focus on making protein a priority for the meals that you could make a priority during the day? Did you find time to move your body a little bit before you had that event, right? And then taking a moment of reflection on where the negative self-talk is coming from, okay? Is it serving you? I can guarantee you 99% of the time, it's probably not serving you. So just kind of tuning into yourself a little bit more, and your own feelings, and, figuring that out a little bit. It's amazing what comes out of a little bit of self-talk. Another thing that you can ask is what you would do differently next time, or what you could do differently next time, or maybe it's none of the above. Maybe it's, I could have, but I don't regret any of it, which is totally fine. Yeah, so these are kind of the questions. Sarah, Emily, anything you kind of want to add to that?
Yeah, I would say, it's funny, I know I helped you make these slides several months ago, but the one thing that's missing from this list that I realized now is like, sometimes you just go through phases where shit's just hard. And I think I know I'm in a season right now that's been just like really challenging, and that's okay. Yeah, and I think that there can be so much empowerment from saying, I'm in a challenging season right now. There's just like less capacity to give, and kind of focusing on that little bit better, and just like incremental small changes on just like, where can I improve? And so for me, sometimes that's like, I'll be honest, my meal prep has been non-existent for the past 3 weeks, but if I order in, I'll try to be really intentional to order something with lots of vegetables and some extra protein in it. So it'll be like Weizenried or seed and salt instead of, I don't know, always poke and rice. Or if I do poke, I'll do with spinach instead of rice. And those little changes add up. And I think you can still cling to the wins and cling to the success, and still celebrate yourself. The other thing I've learned is it's telling yourself you suck never helps anything. Like, and feeling like you suck, or like you're failing, or like you're doing something wrong, never helps ever. And so that's where I think if you can flip the script and say, okay, what is good, even if it's super small, even if it's like I had a carrot stick today, or, or I ordered this instead of this, or I slept in one glass of wine instead of three, whatever that is. I think that if you can just literally write it down. I have like a journal. I write in my daily wins, my post-it notes, and if you can celebrate those even small things, it does kind of like hardwire your brain to say, oh, cool, I'm great, and keep on being great, instead of I suck and just wanting to kind of carry on down the spiral. Yeah. So I guess that's my kind of 2 cents on, I think, some mindset shifts that can really help and have certainly helped me. And I do agree with Sarah. I've come a long ways on like the all or nothing mindset in the last few years. And I give you and this challenge and these people, Christine, a lot of credit on that. So just wanted to kind of share my perspective there.
I love it. Thank you. Sarah, I know you took yourself off mute. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just do your best for what you have to give that day. It's funny, actually, there's a couple times during this challenge where I didn't have meal prepped and I had to go to Subway, and instead of getting chips, even though I was like, ooh, I could really go for something crunchy, I picked up the like pop chips instead, which actually, if you compare the macros, they're like infinitely better in terms of fat, and they have more protein. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm still kind of meeting this need of wanting something crunchy, but I'm making a slightly better choice. And like Emily says, all of those things do actually add up.
100%. Thank you, Sarah.
And Lori just said too, she's like, I know you posted last week, Lori, like, here's my bonus badge. My meal prep week is I ordered it because I ain't got time for that shit right now. And I do.
It's true. It's so true. And I love chips. So I know I should go for the healthier option, but sometimes you just need what you need. And it's that like in moderation, right?
100%. Love that, Laura. But yeah, and it's like knowing moderation for sure. I love that. And then back to Jen's comment too. It's Lori's comment too. It's if you're in a particularly busy season, if you can preempt it, if you can be like, this week's like, I love using Sundays if I can to kind of look at my schedule for the week and be like, when in this week do I have time to shop, to meal prep, to wash my hair, and to just like chillax and do nothing. And if I'm looking and realizing that that's not going to be doable, as sometimes it isn't, just because if you have Sunday evening plans or something, or just a crazy week or something, then I will literally just order from Inspired Go, or I think Lori ordered from Fit Kitchen. And yeah, Lori, like the cost of grocery delivery or conveniences are worth it. Totally. Oh, yeah. And that goes back to Christina's point about like everything in life takes some kind of sacrifice. It's either going to take time if you have that to give, or it's going to take money. And I like to assign, I'm like, okay, if my time has value. So whether that means you hire a cleaner to help you out, or you hire healthy meal delivery, that's just called working smarter, not harder. That's being strategic with your time and with your money and making those choices. And those are all super valid. You do not have to do it all yourself, and you can't do everything all at once. So.
Oh my God, 100%. It doesn't make you any less of a person to like order your food or order your groceries and then do it yourself, like at all. Okay, action time. I put this up a little earlier in hopes that you all kind of read it and started percolating your thoughts. But this is a part of your nutrition badge this week. But if you've all been thinking about it, or to my friends that have done this challenge before, thinking about what you're kind of struggling with, or where you're at, where your head's at in the game right now, and what is like one very, very, very small thing, one little commitment that you can make to yourself, that you can do over the next 3 weeks that will allow you to like feel successful. Not even just in the challenge, but like feel successful just in terms of where you are today, where you are. Some examples would be like I mentioned earlier, like, my water's been sucking as of lately. So I'm going to make a commitment to myself to like try and increase my water by 1 liter a day. right? Or, you know, I'm going to make a commitment to get to bed 30 minutes earlier so that I can read a book, or so that I can de-stress a little bit, or so I can kind of close my eyes and do a little bit of self-meditation. So yeah, I'm going to give you all a few minutes to think about it. And then, as always, ask questions. I know there's been some good topics happening in the chat box. So yeah, ask questions, comments, all the things. Silence falls over the crowd. I feel like you're all just little typing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see what we got. Lori, commitment, getting back to the gym and maintaining it. My lungs hated me this morning after being out for a couple weeks sick, but it was so good to get back and made me feel better / more normal, and is a catalyst for the rest of my life to follow suit. Lori, I love this. It's amazing what one workout can do, right? What one workout or one movement can make you feel. And yeah, it's just a catalyst for everything else to come. Emily, make a big pot of soup on Sunday or Tuesday to be my meal prep for the week. Soup season is here, y'all. I love this. Speaking from someone that's not a soup fan. I know, oh my gosh, Sarah's jaw just dropped. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found the right soups, but this is actually really great because I know soup is really great for meal prep. Yeah, I love that. Sarah, honestly, stress management and keeping a very close eye on my emotional capacity has been super important for me this round. What has been the most helpful for me lately has been intentionally not spending time on my phone in the morning. Instead, I've been using that time to catch up on household chores. I love this, Sarah. I don't know about you all. I don't know if it's just iPhone that does this, but it gives you like a weekly report of how often you're on your phone. And it is very eye-opening, and it is very easy to just spend those 5 minutes doing something else. Sarah subbing it for chores. I think that's so fantastic. Megan Hurd, being healthy. Haha, but in reality, not going back to work until I am fully recovered and not feeling guilty about taking a few sick days and prioritizing my physical health over anything else for the next 3 weeks. Megan, I love this. This is so important. Also, you know, Megan is a nurse and she works in the Emerge department. So I think it's really important also to not feel guilty, right? To take the time for yourself. And because if you're just forcing yourself to go to work and then you're going to continue to be sick, we ain't helping anybody. Okay. So Megan, I love this. Prioritizing your own self first. Jennifer, I need to work on my sleep routine, going to bed at more regular times and getting up early enough to eat that frog first thing in the morning. Jennifer, what is this? Why do I not know what this means? Eat that frog. Does anyone else know what that means?
Sorry, I'm just having lunch here.
Oh,
So I mean, eat that frog is just like accomplishing a really like difficult or mundane task in the morning that you don't really want to do, and then getting that over with, whatever that may be.
first thing.
If it's doing a workout class or maybe doing a chore that you really hate or something like that.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Thank you for clarifying, Jennifer. I'm going to have to use that. I love that. Jesse, I'm going to keep pushing forward with my progress on growing my go-to macro balanced snacks to getting some larger meal to goes that I like and can grab the ingredient without finding the recipe, etc. This is definitely what is making the biggest difference for my consistency with eating better and not just falling into my usual traps. Fantastic, Jesse. Look at all these beautiful answers. Sarah, also listening to long form content, podcasts or YouTube videos while you're cleaning instead of TikToks has made my brain happier and made me more efficient. Love this. Sarah McLeod, working on sleep this week is big for me. Also, I will be eating out a lot this weekend and need to be mindful of prioritizing my protein in my meals. Sarah, that's fantastic, right? So knowing already that you're going to be eating out and then just being able to bulk up those other meals with protein is a fantastic idea. Laura, ordering lunches is in my future and adding cottage cheese as a snack. I'm feeling really good about where I am given all the work stress at the moment. See, look at this, everyone. Look at all these fantastic commitments that you've all made. So keep these in mind, write them down. Obviously, it is part of your badge. So remember it, focus on it, use each other as your accountability, and happy halfway. You're all doing fantastic. Any other questions, comments? Take yourself off mute, throw it in the chat box. All right, I won't keep you all any longer. I will throw the recording up. If any other questions come up, you all know where to pop it. You can always DM directly on Facebook or send us all an email. And happy week 3, friends. Let's all go work on being always better. Have a fantastic week, friends.